Okay, yeah, you can see some of that from the side. Okay, everybody, today we are going over my D&D terrain pieces. So I do a lot of different kinds of D&D. We do a lot of theater of the mind. A lot of it's grid, some of it's off-grid. It's kind of just like how I feel that I can display it the best. And it's always a treat when to get my party, if you will, that I actually have a big display piece, and I have quite a lot. This video is going to be mainly over cities and dungeons. I'm going to try to do it in some sort of order. Except for this. Let's go over some of my older stuff. So my older stuff I went and did was just purely cardboard. This is supposed to be an outdoor board for a mountaintop, and it took way too much spray paint for. And all of this was supposed to be very interchangeable. We had a building somewhere in it with, you know, some classic, what was it, 2.5 kind of terrain pieces. A lot of them didn't get to come out. There was like a bloody sewer basement, and I think it went, yeah, it clicked here. They're supposed to have formed together into a shape. Let's see if I can remember how to do it, folks. We had a bloody basement. We had an evil, I think that was the upstairs. There was a downstairs. The downstairs was scarier. Even though, let's see if we can put this is like a puzzle. You can even see here there was like an illusion of a secret room that we had in here. And we had this going together at one point. See, I prepared this for, yeah, it was a lot like this. I prepared this for a campaign, and you know what happened to that campaign? Fell through. Yeah, I made all this for nothing. I think it went like this. There was like a mountain top monastery. I really wish I knew where this is supposed to connect. Something like that? I don't know. Another secret room. Yeah, this is just extra. Oh, I remember this was when I made a watermill at one point, and that got all ripped apart. So yeah, you see all this? We never even did the adventure for it. A lot of effort for nothing. I'll never get that. I'll be able to show off these pieces. Yeah, I'm rediscovering a lot of stuff here. This may look familiar. I just like the shape of the cardboard, so I kept it. If anybody were watching Province of Erie, you should know this was the end of one of the major arcs. I like this as just like a fighting arena. So that's some dungeon stuff. Some of the older stuff. Now let's see if I can pick which theme to go off of first. Kind of doing it now in chronological order of made. Not really a fan of. Yeah. Share that later. I have bought the official. Oh wow, there's a mini. Oh, that was an armor bearer. That's bad. The official D&D dungeon terrain. I have some leftover bits and bobs from the miniature fighting game. So as a HeroScape guy, I got some of these little cardboard stand-ins. Again, I'm not that big of a dungeon delver kind of guy. It's kind of cool that they do encourage you to have elevated terrain, even just with the box, so it's not even wasteful. Now, this is what happens when I have too much time on my hands and I want to make a dungeon. It is my dungeon mosaic stone dungeon tiles that probably don't fit, and there ain't that much to it. Like there's even a little transition pieces to go onto like other cardboard. You get a hallway. Here's a little pit, and you can mix and match to make a really crude dungeon. I think that's the first. I think some stuff fell off. Huh. There's even like a staircase. Oh yeah, stuff has fell apart. This has been around for a while. Yeah, again, but you can make yourself a little crude dungeon using these pieces. That's discouraging. There's even the divider that would go on. It's like the mountain or stone. Here was like a little room. This can also just be laid out and say there's a stone hut, stone building of sorts. This was like a larger corner. This was like an end piece. I really wonder what happened to this and this. Because the loose stones ain't even there. But yeah, we got this large boss room chamber. Maybe like a treasure chamber. I think we did it like this. We did it like that. Make all sorts of cool little designs. Just with these pieces alone, I should have took more time to make additional dungeon pieces. Maybe it goes off into some sort of chasm. I don't know, stairs here. Stuff like that. But yet again, I have not been able to find scenarios to use this. Even when we finally going to have a dungeon in, because that's the next mission for our current campaign of Dungeons and Dragons, is going to have an actual dungeon. I don't think these would fit because it was like an old dwarven mine of some sort. Yeah, those were all handmade. There's even like little moss growing off in corners and stuff. It's definitely not as sturdy as a lot of these other brands that come out there, but you're going to know it's made. If you find any mosaic stone, that's definitely a use you can have, is to go and paint up all of them and then lay them out like a dungeon. Make dungeon tiles out of them. They look good. They've survived long, because this has been ever since I started back in the 4th edition. I just don't like the condition they are in now. Ugh. Okay, where are we at now? Dungeon stuff. Go get foam. It's a little foam altar that I made out of a foam divider. Guess we're going to have to go into city stuff now. That's a real shed. Also use my dungeon filler. Let's talk about dungeon filler. Nope. Here's my stone. This is a box full of odds and ends. This was from the, should be in the wood box. I divided it between if it's stone based or wood based. That's from the Kraken stuff with the treasure and the treasure chest. But other than that, we got stone bridges, just a cool stone out of the yard that looks like a good altar kind of thing. And this goes all the way back from my old channel when I used HeroScape pieces. These are like little bedpost things. These are good for just pillars. We got like a sack of flour and a sack of potatoes. They're a little big for the scale. I got a stone bench. It's a natural pillar. That's good for like in cave terrain, if you will. More natural stone, not just a cool shape. I got gravestones, like from HeroScape movement tokens, movement order stuff, but I made them as gravestones. Even got them with little flowers on them. Stuff like this I got from thrift store. Even got these little books that are a little big, like that's a copy of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why that's the one that I've kept. I made this that was supposed to be like a water elemental coming out of a jar. It was a part of a puzzle. Don't think I have the other pieces of the puzzle though. There's like 3 or 2 of these, and you had to pick which one. And if you picked the wrong one, the elemental came out. Got these jars you can pick up. That's nice. More shrubbery. Got lamps if you want to go Eberron with some like heated lamps for city. And I've noticed that if you just go get chess pieces and paint them up like stone, they make nice little miniatures, if you will. They're good for graveyards, like big old grave markers. Also found a nice little well. Timmy fell down a well. Almost done with this box. The one that I did do is I went and took all the knight pieces and I went and put jewels on their eyes, and it was a game of red light, green light, where you can't pass where the eyes would be staring at. So you would have to deduce from a small corridor of different standing knight pieces, I called them dragons, by the color of their eye, which way you ought to go. Which is it's a puzzle that I have thought up but never got to actually use. I need to do that eventually, just to not be wasting all these pieces. Seems like the pieces with mechanics I don't end up using, but stuff I just think are cool to get thrown in. Lastly, for the box, we're going to go on for a while. Dude, pawns are the best. You can make it into a little plantier, a singing bowl. I went and made like the Eye of Sauron in one of them. And they're just like good little puzzle pieces, switches, stuff like that you can use. I really like them, and you get a bunch of pawns, so you can paint them up all different ways, and you should be able to get chessboards pretty cheap. Okay, that is it for dungeons. We're done with dungeon mindset. Now we're going to go into cities. But before cities, let's talk about destroyed cities. There's rubble tiles I have, and my destroyed town bits, which I should have took more time to make, but this is, I love them. These are great. These are actually from HeroScape, and then some loose wood, and some good flocking, and just layering on colors of debris and stuff. And you can have a little guy sit over there where there's a little doorway collapse. This was kind of inspired by our first campaign in province of Erie, where there's the destroyed city. But even that was pretty fun. But I did not have those ready by then, so it was kind of inspired after the fact. Yet again, a bunch of good pieces that I don't get to play. Would like to be playing more often. Let us continue, shall us, into city stuff. Oh no. Here's a nice little farm fill-in. You got this windmill. And you may remember that windmill. In the province of Erie, they were fighting at a farm. I wish I had a farmhouse, but I don't have a farmhouse. So those are windmills. Talking about more, get closer to the city. This was what we used for Fort Antonio. It is a fort. It does get to combine with the tower if you want to, and you can put them all together as this domineering force out in the wilderness. Again, you need to watch Province of Erie to see how we use this properly. But I think the party was smart in how to deal with it, because they could have easily died. Oh no, I'm losing it. And that's made out of a thing called Clever Paper. You can find it on Amazon. Actually, there was a YouTuber talking about this, and that's why I picked up a lot of these. These are good for just filling out a good scenario. You don't have to work as hard if you just plop something like this down. They'll get the mindset. You're going to go at a fort. Is it an enemy fort? You can lay that out. Storming that fort would be pretty fun. Let's go. This was what I call my little wizard's house. I don't know what it is. It may have been an incense burner, but there is no holes in it. The base comes out. There's like this little playable room that you could have, but a little up above the ground, but this just has like a little whimsical feel to it that I feel like it's like a druid's hut. This is, I don't know, Tom Bombadil. This is the werewolf that's in Lord of the Rings, not werewolf, the werebear. We also got stuff like this, which is a little item shop. Which, yeah, you can pop it open too and have play on the inside as well. Again, I have not got a use of an item shop, but that's mainly because the campaign has not that many cities, if you will. We also got this little water wheel place, and it is fully playable. Let me see, where do we peel it open here? Fully playable on the inside. The roof gives a lot of play. It's nice. So you can fill out a little city, pick a couple of these houses, and go. You also have this, which is like my town square kind of circle. Got a nice water fountain from Powered by Spoon on eBay. And then I left the boring stuff out. I do have the official overhead city. It makes good. You go get the ground, like the streets, and lay it up near the houses, and it really completes the scene. And again, there's the rooftops, so you can have a rooftop battle on top of these houses with some elevated play. I like the city. The city really helps wrap your mind around maybe if you have leaping or fight between two houses, and it gives you that tactical grid that I think a lot of play needs. Think about stuff like Knight's Move. That's very crucial about mobility and how it was viewed. And then, as I have had for the dungeon section, we do have some inside house themed items that's from this box. As I said, I separated them between stone and wood, so it may not fit the theme, but again, for just Dungeons and Cities, we'll have another video on outdoor terrain. Let's go ahead. And why I'm saying inside a city is a lot of them are these dollhouse wooden pieces. And yet again, the scale may be a little off, but I think a lot of people, when they're inside of a building, have a hard time visualizing what you mean. Crying out loud, you get a piano, a nice bed. And we have a lot of different chairs. There is a nice shelving where you can put potions and booklets and stuff. Oh, there's kind of like a little throne. You can paint them up anyway. There's a changing divider to cover up something that you want to have something creepy come out behind it. I made doors out of wooden gift tags. There's a range of tables, and most of these came from the same set. That was like $12. I'm noticing I'm missing a piece. That's pretty cool too. I wish I could show. Baby cradle. You want to get creepy? You want to go do the opening to Curse of Strahd, where you level up from 1 to 3. Baby cradle. Creepy. Again, different tables, different kinds of chairs. This wasn't from the set, but we got a nice barrel. Barrels are always fun. Again, that set also included a rocking chair that I'm not seeing that's in here. Rocking chair. Get creepy. There also was a toilet that I actually dressed up as porcelain, which was pretty funny. Which is good for a mimic, I guess. I guess it was divided by wood in the set, and we have little cross gravestone markers. You can see them there. So what I did with that was, you know, those little you get like farm-themed plastic sets. There's normally a wooden fence. I just chopped the wooden fence down, and in this case, I made just a clay base on it. You also got stuff like a wooden, a wooden bridge. That was a Dollar Tree item, if you will, the wooden bridge. But what I found online is you could get bridges meant for, what was it? I'm trying to think of the word. Bridges meant for fish tanks. And I was on this kick of trying to find fish tank themed miniature stuff, because they're always to scale. And you can see here, these are really cool. They got like the string in them, really cool bridges, and you got like 2 of them for like, I think it was like $6 to $10. And this is a really cool encounter you can have with like some flying things coming attacking, where someone can cut the bridge on different areas and can be stuck in the middle across like a river or something. Yet again, really cool idea. Have not got to play with it. So I think that's all I got. This tower and this are the only pieces I think nearly all of this that I actually got to play with in game. It's kind of a waste, but hopefully there will be more opportunities to play soon. But that's where I'm going to close with our Dungeons and Cities terrain set. Some custom, some purchased. Yeah, that's it. Next time we are going on to the outdoors, and it's not going to be more than this. It's probably going to be more than this. We got it divided by biomes and stuff. So see you then. Riley Jones signing off.